Hey, coffee lovers, have you asked yourself, this my every morning coffee, is it adding years to my life or is it taking away from the ones that I already have? For decades, we have heard so many messages about coffee. One study says it is bad for the heart health, another study says it preserves heart health. But what does the most recent studies or research say? Hi, I'm Dr. Chichi, and today we're going to be looking at the most recent research or studies on coffee and longevity. And I bet you that the findings will surprise you. This topic has been very confusing. Back in the 1980s and in the 1990s, some studies said it was linked to heart disease, hypertension. Some of them even said it was linked to cancer. And so health organizations at that time told people to limit and even avoid coffee. But the problem with those studies back then were they didn't account for the confounding factors, meaning those who were drinking coffee in those studies, some of them were smoking, some of them had sedentary lifestyles, some of them ate poorly. And so when researchers started accounting for these other factors, the picture changed dramatically. Now, we're going to talk about what modern high-quality research shows. In 2022, a massive study that was published in the Annals of Internal Medicine followed 170,000 people for 7 years. Wow. And they found that people who drank 2 to 3 cups of coffee had a 30% lower risk of death from any cause compared to people who did not take coffee.
Wow.
But then, that's just one study. Let's look at a bigger study or a bigger picture. In 2018, there was a meta-analysis, which is one study that looked at multiple studies. This meta-analysis or this study looked at 40 individual studies that covered millions of people. And they found that moderate coffee consumption was associated with a reduced risk of death from cardiovascular, diabetes, stroke, and kidney disease. An even more interesting finding was the protective effect that they found in people that drank whether decaffeinated or caffeinated coffee. So it's not about the caffeine in the coffee. The European Society of Cardiologists had followed close to 500,000 people for over 10 years. And they found out that these people had a lower risk and rate of having heart rhythm problems, heart failures, and even stroke. I know some of us are already thinking that correlation does not equal causation. Just because coffee drinkers live longer doesn't mean that the coffee made them to live longer. You have a very fair point, but the evidence is consistent across different populations, different countries, different study designs. And this is what makes this point strong. When you drink coffee, you're not just drinking caffeine and water. Coffee contains over 1,000 bioactive compounds. The most important ones are the polyphenols. These are very strong antioxidants that reduce inflammation and also protect your cells from being damaged. And in case you're wondering, what other benefits are there to taking coffee? I will tell you. Number one, it improves insulin sensitivity and reduces the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. Multiple studies showed a 20 to 30 reduction in diabetes risk in people who consume coffee. Number two, it protects your liver. Coffee drinkers have been found to have a lower risk of having liver disease, cirrhosis, and even liver cancer. Number three, it appears to be neuroprotective. Studies have shown a reduced risk of developing Parkinson's disease and even Alzheimer's dementia in people who consume coffee. And fourthly, it reduces systemic inflammation, and that's the root cause of many age-related diseases. These benefits are only just on coffee. The caffeine in the coffee has its own benefits. It improves focus, reaction time, and may even enhance autophagy, which is your body's cellular cleanup process. Now, before you start chugging or consuming so much coffee, there are important caveats to this. because it's not universally beneficial to everybody. If you have certain genetic variants, like people who are slow metabolizers, you cannot take coffee because high coffee intake is actually associated with a higher risk of a cardiovascular event in these people. And the truth is about 50% of people are slow metabolizers. Coffee will not also be beneficial to you if when you take it, it makes you jittery, anxious, and disrupt your sleep. These negative effects will outweigh the longevity effect that coffee has, especially when it is disrupting your sleep. Sleep is crucial for health. If you have uncontrolled high blood pressure, reflux, that is the gastroesophageal reflux disease, or you also have anxiety disorders, taking coffee will just make all these conditions worse. Another set of people that should be careful are pregnant women. Pregnant women are limited to about 200 milligrams of caffeine in a day, which is about 2 cups of coffee. And the big one is what you put in that coffee really matters. A black coffee or a cup of coffee with a splash of milk is different from a 600 calorie caramel frappuccino loaded with sugar. So the benefits that I'm talking about is from coffee itself, not coffee flavored desserts. If you're wondering what is the optimal amount, the sweet spot seems to be around 2 to 4 cups of coffee, which is about 200 to 400 milligrams of caffeine per day. When it's 6 cups or more, it begins to show diminished returns and even increases risk for a cardiovascular event. Surprisingly, 1 cup of coffee has more benefits to no coffee at all. And remember, decaffeinated coffee actually showed similar benefits to caffeinated coffee. So if you do not like the caffeine, decaf coffee is a great option for you. The timing also matters. Having your last cup of coffee before 2 p.m. helps ensure that it does not interfere with your sleep, which is crucial for longevity. Here's my bottom line as a physician. For most people, moderate coffee consumption, which is about 2 to 4 cups per day, appears to be not just safe, but actually beneficial for longevity. The evidence is strong, it is consistent, and it really came from high quality studies. But like I said, listen to your body. If taking coffee makes you feel worse, then don't drink it because studies say it is healthy. The way that your body responds to it matters. I will also say to focus on the quality. Make it organic when possible. The freshly brewed coffee with minimal additives. And remember that coffee is only a part of overall lifestyle. It's not going to save you if the rest of your habits are terrible. Just think of it as one tool in your toolkit. It's not a magic bullet. If you currently don't drink coffee and you don't enjoy it, you don't need to start. There are several other ways of supporting longevity. But if you're already a coffee drinker, then you can probably feel good about that habit. But then remember to keep it in moderation, 2 to 4 cups per day. So, what's your relationship with coffee? Are you a daily drinker or do you avoid it? I want to know in the comments below. I read every comment and I respond to every comment. If this helped you, don't forget to hit the like button, don't forget to subscribe, and also hit the notification bell so that you get more of this, where I break down latest research on preventive health and longevity every week. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.